Good morning, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to Ask the Accountant, episode number 128. The date's the 14th of April, 2025, and I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Patrick, and joining with me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Johann Gore. Johann, how has your weekend or week been?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Not too bad at all. I spent the weekend in sunny Northumberland and popped over to see Holy Island and
Island.
Yeah, and enjoyed lots of good food and drink, if I'm honest. So just a very nice 2 days. Literally went away Friday afternoon, back Sunday morning, 48 hours decompressed from social media, everything like that. Just enjoying the weather that we had, which is good because it's grey and raining here now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not bad. And
you
then we had
the good weather, then.
Pardon?
You did get the good weather. You got the good weather.
Oh yeah, glorious weather. And then we had a good race yesterday afternoon as well for us in the F1. So couldn't be happier. How was your weekend?
Very good, yeah. I mean, it's been a long week actually. For saying that, most of my week was in fact, I didn't leave the office, the house, as in didn't have to go anywhere, which was good. So I got my head down. We've finalized top trumps for Accountex 2025. Some brand new people joining the ranks, which is good to see. It's going to make the new top trumps game even more entertaining going forward, I think. And we've got a new vendor coming through, or new event coming through as well. So it should be good to see. I'm looking forward to that one. Because it's scary, isn't it? Less than a month till Accountex now? Pretty much, isn't it? Not just over a month, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, we'll be traveling in a month's time.
Yeah. So that top trump card game, we're going to go through. And if you haven't already, do watch Bobby's latest podcast we did on the channel at the Fab breakdown, because that's going to show you going forward how our podcast pit stops are going to go at the end of every single video or every single podcast pit stop, or we're going to have a little mini game at the very end, which is our top trumps game, where you've got to guess 5 of them and try and get on the leaderboard. And I've built us a brand new leaderboard system, so in real time, beforehand, we're going to basically say, where do you want to finish? Who do you want to beat in this? Like top trumps, top gear style. So there'll be a nice little leaderboard, and you can kind of see where you came through. Unfortunately, Johan, you've started to slip down, so maybe we need to.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah,
all a blur to me.
Also, I got the barbecue out this weekend. That's how I made the most of the sunshine. Oh, it was good to get it out, properly. Got it through its little paces again, turned it up to max, burn off all the excess and all that sort of stuff. And there we were, barbecuing away. F1 was good fun. And I started a little coding exercise as well, so more on that later. But yeah, we started to figure out how to code for the first time, building a little app for our practice. We wouldn't be anything without our community, and our community's come in droves already. So we have a new first poster. So sorry, Shell, you were second today. Louise Moore got there and said morning. Also, good morning to you, good morning to you, Louise. Shell, though, was seconds, milliseconds. If we had a Formula One race at this point, it would be literally photo finish. So good morning to you, Shell. I hope you're having a good day. Paul was there. Good morning to you, Paul. Unfortunately, Pompey didn't do us any good over the weekend with Derby. Thanks for that, because we needed the points more than you did. Natasha says good morning, Natasha. Hope you're doing well. Kirsty says good morning to you, Kirsty. Hope you are doing fine. Dave says good morning. I hope you all had a great weekend, and we hope you had a great weekend too. Airtrium, is that right? Airtrium. A Bookkeeping Services says good morning. So good morning to A Bookkeeping Services. Loving the do tell us how to pronounce it. Yeah, it's it's completely on me. It's not on you. Sam says
on a Monday morning. It's fine.
I'll have an apology corner soon to play in a minute. Sam says good morning. Also, good morning to you. Good morning to Susanna. And final one is Sue. Missing your show today at the eye hospital. Hopefully you get that sorted soon, though. To have a good show. I hope we're sending our support over to you there. So, and the final one is Glenn came in with a good morning just as we move on to our next bit. So good morning to you, Glenn. Brilliant, fantastic. So we have a jam-packed show, but first of all, we're going to talk about another show that's on the Tinterwebs called Accounting Web Tech Bites by Accounting Web and the wonderful Tom Herbert. And the reason we're shouting them out is because we got some shout outs, so we want to give some love back to Tom himself. My section really quick. QuickBooks have just released a brand new banking area, and I gave my thoughts on it. Is it a game changer or not? You'll have to watch the video, as Tom says, to find out. So thank you, Tom, for that shout out. But more importantly, not more importantly, but as important, just so we don't get any legal issues coming our way, as important. I generally think this is an absolute game changer. I wouldn't need a video to say if this is a game changer or not, because I think everybody knows that it is. A little app you might have heard called Engager.app, or as I like to call them, Client Engager, because, you know, I like to get legal on my case and get told off for branding issues. But Engager.app released a brand new 64.8 authentication HMRC, basically sent from the gods solution that gave us the opportunity to not have to go into the individual HMRC website to authenticate your clients going forward. You can do it directly within the app. And when I tell you that when this got announced at Engager Labs back in February at Liverpool, the first thing my team did was they went straight on the phone to the one and only person who wasn't there from my team, who couldn't make it, and said, "You are not going to believe this. Your life has just been changed for the good." And they sent a message directly there saying how much easier that process is. Johann, tell us all, how's the reaction been? How was the kind of setup been? What's the story behind the new release?
Yeah, no, it's been exceptionally well received. Been a long time coming. We've had a lot of backwards and forwards in, because if we wanted to just do what others had done and just release agent authorization for corporation tax, self-assessment, PAYE, CIS, that's been done. It's easy-ish. Like, it's still, you still have to deal with HMRC and their tech channel and stuff, but ultimately there's a precedent. It's been done. That's fine. What we discovered while looking at that is that you can also do that for MTD VAT and MTD income tax, which others say you can't, to the point that they even state in their help guide, HMRC do not allow this. Well, put your help guide in the shredder. Actually don't, because I take great joy if I've had a particularly tough day, I tend to just log into that help guide. It's not an Engager help guide, obviously, and just read that and chuckle to myself. But yeah, it turns out HMRC, MTD, agent authorization, that digital handshake they like to call it, has been available for use for the last 4 to 5 years since VAT went live on MTD, and no one's used it. No one's looked, no one's tested it. So there's quite a lot of backwards and forwarding just to make sure that what we thought it could do, and because there's a bit of terminology issues, like the terminology they use in the older agent authorization process is different to what they use in the newer one, and all that good stuff. And then the testing of this has taken weeks and weeks, because it's not like, so normally something lands in my account to test on like a Wednesday night, and it goes live on the next Monday night, because we can test it. Maybe we give ourselves 2 weeks if it's major and it's got multiple complications and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's really quick and easy to test stuff. The issue we had to do was, not only did we could test the MTD one instantly. That was really good. But then when you're testing the whole process of agent authorization codes that go out in the post, is you have to submit the information. You're polling to check that information's been received. Yep, that's been received. Great. Now you're polling to confirm that have they issued the code. So if you put it in on a Thursday or Friday, it probably won't go out till Monday. And then you've got to wait for Royal Mail and for the code to arrive before you can enter the code. And then if there was any issues there, we were going to have to test it again and again, until we refined it. So testing took quite a long time through no fault of the development team, just the process that is getting authorized as an agent on the old school stuff. But yeah, went live last Tuesday night. Reception's been fantastic. Loads and loads of people using it and stuff. Huge thank you to you for inspiring the bulk upload solution, which meant not only can you request authorizations, you can easily export all the information from HMRC of current authorized clients and import them into Engager, so Engager knows to mark them as authorized already. So yeah, that added a couple of weeks of building and testing onto it, but yeah, it made the product so much better. And the comments and stuff we're getting is phenomenal. We're really, really pleased with that functionality. And it just shows once again, like, yes, practice management tools have been around for 8+ years.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are still doing a minimal job, like, oh, do that bit, that's easy, and then do nothing about the new advancements that HMRC are offering. So yeah, we're really pleased with the product, the way it works, the efficiencies it's bringing. Yeah, really, really happy with it all.
And it's a system seller, right? Because I will always remember before we used one of the competitors, we were on a bespoke solution that was built for us by this third party and all this, that, and the other. And I'll always remember, like, we were adamant that we could make this work. And at one point we tried to build our own and all that sort of rubbish, right? And I'll always remember the reason we moved over, because I said to my team, look, I've invested X amount of time and effort to get us using this solution we're using, so I'm not going to move just for the sake of it. Convince me. And I said to my team, I said, look, if you can find a solution out there that you think is going to be better for us and more efficient for us and etc., I'm open to ears, but I'm not going to be the one to force another push or even look for one, because I'm a little bit stubborn at this point, right? Because I've spent so much time and effort and money to get us to where we were.
You're emotionally invested.
Yeah, exactly. So I said to my team, look, if you can find something out there that you think is going to change the game for us, all yours. And I'll always remember the bit that they got so excited, their things, they were like, look, this one, you can automatically 64.8 your thing. And that was it was the client portal, the 64.8, and the fact that the terminology was all correct. Like, they were the winning things for them. So I was like, right, okay, done. We'll close down our other solution. We'll migrate over, off to the races. So it is a system seller. Like, that is the bit where people get excited about, because you're taking away that pain point, right? You're taking away that pain point of having to log in, having to find all the numbers, having to put all the stuff in. Then when the code received, it's another having to log in and put the code in and everything like that. And I love the fact that, and I think you've under kind of stated that, the fact you don't need to log in again to put the code in, right? That is
and
huge.
Again, that's new. I think TaxCalc have got that functionality from what I hear, is they've got the ability to enter the codes in product, but no practice management tool that I've ever dealt with has got that ability. Yeah, you can request the code to be sent out in the post, but then you've got to go into HMRC and enter it all.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, no, just stick the code in and do it in the product. Why even torture yourself with going into your agent gateway?
Exactly. And for us, it was, as soon as that code came in for it, we would just have to pass it over to the person who was responsible for that. So, if they're on holiday or if they're, doing another task or something, it was delayed. And in some circumstances, we were getting it on the day, the day it was going to expire, and then it expired, and then we had to go back again. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that was because the process was, as soon as that code comes in, you pass it on. Now the process is, as soon as that code comes in, well, you already engage anyway, copy and paste, done, and close the ticket and move on. Like, that's
taking a bit of training on my team, if I'm honest. Like, they keep sending the code to me or the admin. It's like, guys, you can do this. Oh yeah. Like, years of training, years of them doing it one way. It's taking a little bit of time to break those habits.
Exactly. And I know this is, it may never happen, but the dream of having that is, well, maybe one day the client could just go into the portal and add it themselves, right? That opens that functionality, right? We've already got a nice form filling system where we're looking at, well, maybe we just request the code from them, and then it literally is a copy and paste. We don't have to put it through, and as soon as we've issued it, we issue the form, when that comes in, they complete the form. There's our process done and dusted. We don't have to deal with, scanned copies of trying to make out what those digits are, or sometimes it copies, sometimes it doesn't, all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah. So we're trying to think of new ways.
I'll be honest, copy and paste has been the vein of my life for the last week.
It's so inconsistent, isn't it?
Everyone's going into their digital agent gateway, copying their agent ID, which is like 4 letters and 7 numbers, and pasting it. But the way HMRC display that number in the gateway is not the way it's not the format they accept it in the API. So you have to rip out all the spaces and the dashes and whatever else other people have put in there to make it work. And yeah, the amount of screenshots I've gone through, I can see the spaces from here. Like, you take the spaces out. Like it's on the help guide twice in capital letters. Remove the spaces.
Please remove the spaces, please.
I've seen like a chunk of space and then the code. It's like, what's gone on there? How have you done that?
Well, that's fun when you sometimes you have to copy it from like a digital upload or something, right? And it's so inconsistent in times like that. So yeah, that's nothing to do with Engage. That's just the frustration at the moment of copy and paste in general, right? But we want to preface it. This gives us a platform to make those pain points go away even more going forward, right? And I'm loving that, and especially with MTD around the corner, that is going to be a nightmare. The actual implementing MTD is not too bad, but getting everyone onto that portal properly.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to HMRC. They've done the same they did with the VAT bit, which is you can just copy them across from your old portal into your new one, nice and easy. But we all know we're going to get flooded with new inquiries and new clients that don't understand these rules, and we're going to need to be authorized quickly. And again, HMRC have built this really well. Like, you put the details in, whether you use their website or whatever. It gives you a link. You copy and paste that onto the email. The clients have got an easy life
if they have an account.
If they've got the gateway and they've linked their tax to their gateway, yes. But so they've already built that very easily. But then for us to be able to do it in product where we've got the templated emails and stuff, and we just press send, even better.
Yeah.
I mean, what has been interesting is how many accountants and bookkeepers have kind of had an error message and come back and go, oh, my client can't do this, or this has come up. It's like, if this had come up in the HMRC website and the wording's the same, you'd know what to do. But because it's gone through the API, it must be our fault. It's like, come on. But yeah, it was an interesting week, and I needed my 48-hour decompression in Northumberland, shall we say. But yeah, no, it's been so well received. And the beauty of it is, now that's out of the way, that kind of reopens the floodgates of other upgrades and updates, because we had 2 developers on that for the last 3 months trying to get it finished and stuff, whereas normally it's 1 and it takes 4 to 6 weeks to build something. So, we're now back to that, lots of little improvements and stuff coming up, but we couldn't release, there was a load of back-end improvements behind the 648 as well. But then things like the progress bar for the phases got released. We couldn't release that earlier, even though it was sat there ready, because it was on the same environment as the 648s. So we had to wait for that to be ready. So yeah, I'm quite pleased to get that off my shoulders now. And the team's absolutely smashed it with it. So I'm now looking forward to seeing more updates more regularly coming out again.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Back to that cadence that we all know and love from Engager.
Yeah.
Back to the Accounting Web Tech Bytes article, though, there was one bit that caught my eye, not related to us, which was the AI negativity. And they started talking about fake receipts and how, the receipts were being generated by AI, and then it was a opportunity for fraud and all this, that, and the other that came with it. And it got me thinking about, there's been a bit of AI negativity at this point in time. If you've not seen it, and I don't know what rock you've been going under beforehand, but if you've not seen the latest meme to hit our accounting social media, is all about the action figures, right? And fair play, got to give a shout out to Lizzie's Ask the Accountant podcast network team. If you've not seen it, I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
I mean, we're going to have to go and look at 3D printers now, aren't we? So we can just print them and distribute them.
Yeah. They might have already put an order in somewhere, but yeah. But that's what it is, right? Like, we're in our nice little high-vis jackets, blah, blah, blah. I think it looks good. And Lizzie did one of herself, and I did one as a quick meme as well for it and everything else. But it just had its backlash, partly because I think everyone's already sick and tired of seeing them.
So bored.
Taking over, hasn't it? But I still love them. I still think they're pretty cool. But also it's the responsibility of it, or environmental impact of it, isn't it? Of the of using AI unnecessarily. This is for, let's be honest, a quick giggle, quick bit of fun. It's not for potentially what AI or what these capabilities were intended to use. So there's just been a lot of negativity. We're going to talk about some positivity about this as well, because we know, like, we have been using AI for a lot of good stuff in the last couple of last week alone. But this negativity, I mean, the fake receipts one, to me, I think it's one of those, right? Like, it's happened since day dot. People have tried to fraud the system. People have been trying to.
We've seen fake bank statements come out of Adobe and PDF editors and stuff. Like, It's always been there. Let's stop stirring the pot, people. Exactly. But also, if you're worried about a receipt being fake, like, if it's got a VAT number on it, run it through a VAT number checker.
Yeah,
like it's fine. Not the end of the world.
And we've been trained, like, that's what accountants and bookkeepers we're trained to do, right? Be vigilant, go AML checks, and everything else to go with it. Like, we know, like, responsibility lies on us in a lot of circumstances to make sure these things are right. That's what our clients paying us to do, isn't it? So
I don't think it would be a huge job for OCR software like Apron, Dext, Auto Entry, etc., to put in a new field where it now reads the VAT number. It puts that into the field and it verifies that against the HMRC API.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll put the right VAT number, but they'll say they've bought something from Currys, for example, and they've bought this big, expensive expense, and they've basically AI'd it. But our responsibility as well is to make sure the source of funds is correct, right? Like, if it's from the bank account, we'll see it. It's either appeared on the bank account.
Have I seen the transaction go through?
Yeah, and if it's a personal credit card, well, that's fine. Just pass us over the personal credit card. We'll verify some big here. We're just doing our job here. Things like that. That's what we need to be.
And if they want the VAT and the corporation tax or the personal tax reductions, then they will do that quite happily.
Happily, right? And we just ask for that bit of supporting document to go with it. It's a receipt. It's the source of funds. We move on, and I get there's a bit of a scaremongering tactic about this and everything else, but we've had this for years. Like, nothing's changed our end. Our responsibility is exactly the same. We're just gonna be a bit more vigilant about it, right? So I just feel like I get where people are worried about it. I get things, but our responsibility is still the same. Our tools are still the same to fix it, right? Go back to base principles. I think we'll be absolutely fine. And if a client wants to try and use AI to fake their way through and fraud the system, let them do it. Most of the time, they won't want accountant because
it won't be worth the effort.
Yeah, so they don't have an accountant for that reason, right? Because they don't want to be caught. So, let them carry on doing what they're doing. And it's a temporary issue anyway, right? If e-invoicing goes the way it should do, and we get that kind of blockchain model where every transaction goes to the blockchain and we can verify against blockchain, this will go away, right? And this will be a thing of the past. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Susanna's just joined the party. I say just joined. Was 8:41 joined the party. So good hello to you. Good. Stephanie joined the party as well. Good morning, Stephanie. Hope you're doing well. Paul says, I'm sure the printers at HMRC are working overtime with all the letter requests referring back to the 648 by Engager.
I've heard the Royal Mail shareholders are very happy with us. The only frustration I've got is I don't have a shareholding in Royal Mail, and I feel like I could have done quite well at that, even if it's classed as insider trading.
Do HMRC pay the going rate? I don't know about that. I don't know. There'll be some dealing, won't they? There'll be a tax reduction if you were tip for that moment, by the way. And that's my opinion, not Johann's. Nick says, correct your answer, the fact that they have a, you can import the 648 directly into the system. And Kirsty says, does fake receipts, i.e. generated by AI, encourage the use of expense cards so only official receipts are allowed? Great point, is it? I mean, I do encourage for a big expense, you kind of want to encourage your client to use the business credit card, the business account, the business watch.
How many people? I think there's only, I'm trying to think now. We have to go out and make sure we have cash in our house once a month when the window cleaners come. That is the only time I handle cash. Everything else is card, and well, it's not even card. My wallet's always in my pocket. It never comes out. It's all Apple Pay. Like everything is.
That's it. Yeah, my window cleaners now go cardless, which has always made me chuckle because it's all by text message. I've never met the guy. I don't know who he is. He just sends me this random text saying, "Make sure your gate's open, and I'm going to charge you in 5 hours time, whatever it is." So yeah. So, but no,
wow. I think your window cleaner is a bit more above board than mine.
Yeah, I feel like it's yeah. I mean, look, encouraging expenses like Apron's brand new expense is definitely the way forward, isn't it? Right? Yeah. We can't get over that. And I know I was shocked at how much, not backlash, but how many people have said that, you know, oh, we love the solution, but we can't use it until approvals are there. And I'm a bit like, is it really that big a deal for the sort of clients that we're? I think definitely if you're looking for that level up, but then there's already solutions for the level up, right? And Apron weren't building this to, and they will at one day. Obviously they're going to be able to go against those, but they saw a gap in the market. They saw that there wasn't a straightforward solution for the likes of our businesses and our clients out there, and this was a nice and easy one. So yeah, I was surprised that there was a lot of backlash about that, you know, about the approval element to it. But I feel that that's what this is about, right? Your employee, or you make the expense, and as Kirsty says there, you're then encouraged to take the photo directly there. So you've got the source of funds, you've got the supporting document, off to the races, then, aren't you? Like I don't see how it can be any cleaner and easier.
I've just done a quick Google, right? I've not got time to do a ChatGPT deep research, but I will do at some point. But Google's like, well, cash only accounted for 12% of all payments made in the UK during 2023. In 2022, it was 14%. So if it continues that trajectory, this year is what, 8%? Are we getting like, so if everyone can prove electronic transactions source of truth from the bank, then yeah, I mean, I think it's a non-issue personally. 100%. And I think if your client's still completely cash-based, you've got bigger problems than a few fake receipts.
Yeah,
because actually they need modernizing anyway. Or why are they cash-based in a world where only 12% of transactions are done by cash?
Yeah, and in near enough every situation, encouraging them to have some sort of card system helps their revenue. I was working at butchers for such a long time, as you know, as my Saturday job, and when we finally bit the bullet, or I finally convinced my boss to go, look, let's just try one of these cash systems, these credit card systems. We'll just have one of those simple Zettel terminals. Let's see what happens. Guess what? Everyone was buying more because they weren't restricted to how much cash they had in their pocket, and they were like, oh, while I'm here, I might as well just grab some sausages or whatever it is, and you're upselling all the time because you're not restricted to how much cash was in your pocket. And I feel like, I know there's card fees, and I know there's in some situations there's kind of restrictions to having it set up in the first place, lack of internet or whatever it's going to be. But there
was a solar panel bloody powered card part ticket machine that took Apple Pay the other day for me. But like, you are very happy to take your money if you're only cash. So there's two over in Holy Island walking towards the castle. There was two vendors. One was an ice cream van, and one was like a hot drinks, chocolate bar, sandwiches, etc. Beautiful blue sky weather. This is at lunchtime. Not one person was going to the ice cream van, and there was a huge queue for the van next to them. It's like, well, okay, maybe they want sandwiches or It's really nice. Whether why loads of people are walking around with ice cream. Why are they not buying this guy's ice cream? Big bit of paper, cash only in the window. Well, yeah. The van next to you is taking card payments. Why can't you? So, yeah. You're damaging your business by being cash only.
It is, isn't it? Steph says here, even the arcades and 2p machines have contactless machine. Whoa! How can the 2p machines have contactless machine? I mean, you put the little thing in, it just drops 2p's for you. Is that how it works? So might need more context to that one.
I mean, that could get expensive very quickly.
Can you imagine the world where literally the card drops down? So it's not a 2p machine anymore.
I'm still here.
It just drops an expense card down. Oh, which one do I get now?
Wake up in the morning and there's hundreds of 2p transactions.
Yeah, exactly. See if you cash only signs in restaurants, car washes, and other shops around town still. Yeah. And just, there's got to be a way for them. And especially now with like, I've been playing around a lot with the whole idea that you just log into your app on your phone and you could take it, tap to pay directly from the phone sort of thing. Not perfect if you need lots and lots of transactions, but if you're a cab driver, for example, and every so often you just need to take that card payment, it just works, doesn't it, going from there? Yeah. So that was our negativity around it, but there was a lot of positivity this week as well around the world of AI. You're talking about Claude AI, Note and Pim launch Zapier integration. Now you've got me excited.
Yeah.
So first of all, Zapier's had a bit of a glow, right, since last time you looked at it.
I've not used Zapier in a few years because it was just unreliable. It's like, actually, I spend more time fixing these bloody links and working out which transactions or something have been missed than I do save. So I gave up. But yeah, if you use the Claude Note or the Claude Pin, which isn't around here, it's here, or the Claude Pin, they literally just this morning it went live. You can get a Zapier integration to Claude now. So you record your meetings, whatever it is, it summarizes and transcribes it all, and then once it's done that, it knows to then go and, right, I'm going to put this into your OneNote. I'm going to put this into your Notion account. I'm going to put this into ChatGPT for you. You build out what you want it to do. So anything that's got a Zapier link will be able to use this now. So very excited by that. I'm also waiting patiently. I'm not being patient at all. I'm bored waiting for it. But Claude AI are launching they've launched it for Windows, which upsets me greatly. I'm waiting for the Mac version, but they've launched an app for the desktop, which auto records all your meetings. Or if you put a phone call through your computer, auto records that. So you're not missing anything anymore. Now, cool. The Mac OS version of that is yet to come. That's due out in the next 6 weeks, apparently. So I'm sat waiting for that.
I'd imagine that's because those security issues that you have with the Mac one. I'll always remember with the Elgato one where to enable it to record the sound of your system, you had to go into the kernel, which is always an uncomfortable experience, right? You have to switch basically the computer has to shut down and you go into the back end of this crazy, like very, MS-DOS element. You have to start changing things in there. So I imagine that's what they're trying to find an elegant solution for that, because no one wants to be going having to mess around with your kernel. You know how safety conscious Mac is. But yeah, I mean, the Windows one might be worthwhile having a play around with, see if it's as good as they say. So yeah, I might have a play. I am still trying to figure out if the Claude.
You're trying to do it device free, aren't you?
I am. That was the dream, and it's just not working. Right? Well, look, I've recorded every meeting in 2024, so I found a solution, but there's just janky solutions where my iPad's in a Teams meeting while I'm on a call on my Mac, and it's listening to us and everything else. And in fairness to Teams, now there is a new section, if you've not seen it, where you can actually train your voice. So you go in, you train your voice in, so it knows who you are at least. It doesn't know who the other person is. So it's kind of like
whereas to be fair, Claude's pretty good at that. So if I had a meeting with you and me today, I'd go, oh, that was Aaron, and it'll go, well, this is Johann. We already know what Johann sounds like. And then if we have another meeting in a week's time or a month's time or a year's time, it'll go, oh, that's Aaron. It knows. It's very clever.
I think that's gonna be the way forward, right?
Yeah.
Another subscription, but that's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
and if it's saving you as much,
it's a bargain compared to £200 a month that I'm paying for ChatGPT right now,
isn't it? My Copilot renewal came up this month, and I was like, an absolute no-brainer, but ouch.
Yeah, I'm not using Copilot at all for anything.
But your team is, right?
My team are, yes. So I've actually transferred so we're not giving everyone a Copilot by default. We just take out the license once we think, but you're having lots of meetings, you're quite tech savvy. We've chatted to you about the benefits and the risks of AI, and you're all clued up. That's fine. So I transferred my team's license to our new head of payroll last week. So I've not got Copilot anymore. But between ChatGPT and the Claude device, it's not an issue.
Just that Excel side of things, isn't it? But you weren't using that as much.
Don't use Excel.
But for me, that's why.
That's
my non-negotiable now. If it can't talk to Excel, I'm not interested in it. Because there's some really cool things coming to there. ChatGPT can now look back at previous conversations for context and memory. Talk to me about this one. Oh no, just first of all, on the Claude side, what sort of Zapier integrations are you thinking about bringing into play?
So the idea for me of recording all my meetings, all my calls, all my discussions, all of my ideas, like I'm walking around, oh, that's a good idea. Like Aaron and I were chatting about an idea for some new content today, but I'd recorded my thoughts on it at the time through my Claude, just so I'm capturing it all, because there's a lot goes on in my head. Some people say there's not a lot that goes on in my head, but every now and then I have moments. So I've always taken all those Claude notes and just put them into Apple Notes for now, in the hope that Apple finally deliver on what they promise us in the form of Siri having the intelligence and context to be able to go through. And I could just ask Siri, oh, I had a meeting with so-and-so and we discussed these points. What are the action points that we came up with? Or what was the outcome of that meeting? It's not there yet. So I'm now thinking like, okay, could I put all of those notes into Notion, which has got a built-in AI tool? Well, I'm going to play around with a few different solutions because I want it to be able to, I want to ask questions of it. Or do I direct it through Zapier from Claude into ChatGPT, into one huge conversation where every single note and transcript and summary goes, and then I can ask that as my second brain. Like, I had a meeting about this with so-and-so. What was the outcome? What did we decide? That type of thing. So it's going to take some playing. I knew it was on the ideas list for Zapier to be integrated. I wasn't expecting to wake up this morning to find it there. So I need to have a play, but I've got a few ideas.
Okay. And I wonder if you could go the other way, where if you booked a meeting, it could tell Claude, look, by the way, this meeting's coming up. Although I suppose you sync it anyway, do you not? Sync it to your calendar anyway?
That's it. So, But it's there's lots of excitement to be had there. So ChatGPT also made an announcement this week, and it wasn't an announcement of what's coming. It was this has just gone live announcement, which is always my favorite. So ChatGPT has now got an improved memory. So it can look back through all of the conversations that you've had with you. It can't look at deleted ones, but it can look at anything you've had and any archived conversations.
Didn't you have to enable to save conversations? So I think you had to do that first, right? Which was a setting.
Yeah, so there's something in the setting. No, it's defaulted to on, I think. If you don't want this on, you need to go in and turn it off. I think that's what you need to do from what I remember. Because it was on for me. But yeah, basically, you're able to now go into Zapier, into ChatGPT and ask it questions in like a new conversation. You don't have to go, oh, which conversation was I do? Were we looking at this? Was I researching this? Was I doing some work on this? I can literally go, buff, new conversation, ask it a question, and it can go, right, am I looking at the website? Am I looking at doing deep research? Like, so if you go, oh, we've discussed this in the past, what was the outcome? Or, like, if you want to see how powerful and how fun this is, put a prompt in saying into a new conversation saying, based on our previous conversations, describe me. And it comes back and I mean, it's very flattering. I'll put it on LinkedIn later, but it's very flattering. I mean, ChatGPT is a bit of a flirt, like anything to keep you happy. But it goes through all the conversations and it comes up with kind of your personality and and what you do and how you do it and stuff. And it's actually quite interesting.
Nice.
Because in theory, is that not the same as that's how you come across to people? I mean, ChatGPT was a bit more complimentary than most people are, if I'm honest. But in theory, that's ChatGPT's built this impression of you based on your interactions with it.
Yeah.
Which is no different to how humans work. Like, we build our impressions based on our interactions with someone. But I mean, that's got huge power behind it again. So excited to see where that goes in the future.
And I wonder if that means your tokens can be more used for the deep research, because you could just reference back to, oh, by the way, you've already researched XYZ, so use that as context, but I'm thinking about doing this, or I'm thinking about doing that. And I think that could be a really good use case for it. My only kind of fallback on this, my first initial one is, and ChatGPT by far is, and I've tried to be an anti-ChatGPT user and tried to use the others and tried to go, right, well, I much prefer so and so because it's doing this, right? But I'm fully on board now that ChatGPT is the
I'll have him on Android next.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't it such a shame that it wasn't Google that was with Gemini, that wasn't the one, because the history that could have would be crazy, like 20 plus years, is it not now, or whatever the time frame is? Even if it was Meta AI with their integration with Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, like there's a history there. They know you inside out at this point, right?
And this is why AI is going to be your second brain.
Yeah.
Right. It's literally retaining information you can't.
Yeah. And I wonder if there's ever going to be a scenario where you can almost ask Gemini and ask Meta, right, or just do a dump of who you think I am, or whatever it's going to be, and then you feed that to ChatGPT and it just goes, interesting. Oh, okay. So you like Pokemon, do you? Or whatever it's going to be, right? Like, it's that sort of stuff that ChatGPT has no idea about that at the moment, because I never brought that up in conversation, but would have done countless times with the Geminis and the Metas of the world. So it's just interesting, isn't it, that, or maybe maybe the fact that we're not having to go back so far is probably a good thing for a lot of people. Like there's some searches you've done back in the day that you don't ever want AI to know about. So yeah, maybe that's the reason for it. But no, it looks exciting. I was shocked that it was only recently there, because I thought I'd already kind of asked for it to do it. So, but no, now that you've said that
it's always had a memory.
Yeah.
So it's got two memories. One is separate, and it basically, and you can tell it, and you can add stuff to it and go, add this to your memory that I now run this business, etc. And you can go through that memory and you can purge bits of data out of it that you go, that's not relevant, or that's no longer relevant, but it was.
Yeah.
So it's got that memory, but then it's also got this other memory of, now it's able to review and all the context of all your conversations with it as well.
I love it. Love that. I love it. Okay, quickly go back to the conversations to get 2p's in change, right? Okay, so you're using contactless to get 2p's in change and go through from there. Maybe they need to think this through. Maybe they should already have the 2p's lined up, and when you press the button, it then comes through. But anyway.
Or just blank coins, just pulling.
What? One day the kids won't know what 2p's are, so it will be like gift cards.
I'm surprised inflation's not taken that to 10p yet.
It'll be £2 coins before you know it. Start a trial with an inbox AI organizer to help get to inbox. Excellent. Hopefully that's working. I still on this thing where I don't need an inbox here. I just need my inbox to be tickets, and then I can deal with the tickets. But yeah, I get people that have different ways for it. I'm having a real mixed bag of results for ChatGPT deep research function. You wash your mouth out with soap there, Stephanie. You wash your mouth out with soap.
Probably
I
just
am
trying to look at zero.
Literally shaking back and forth, going, how long have I got left till I can use deep research again, or do I pay the £200? I'll be paying £200 soon. Yeah, don't worry. Sometimes I just get the message, I'll deliver this in the next message, but never does. Or just prompt him to ask for a reminder. Just say, what's the update, and it'll get back to you.
Question would be, what package are you on, Steph? Are you on the free, the £20 one, etc.? Like,
do you get any deep research free?
I don't think you get any deep research free, but also on the £20 one, you don't get dibs. So I get dibs over you. So if you and me did a research thing at the same time, because you're paying £20, I'm paying £200, and the deep research tool is at capacity, or ChatGPT's at capacity because it's making bloody dull, bigger pictures for everybody, my request takes dibs over yours.
Yeah. Have you seen Black Mirror yet? The new series?
No.
You need to watch the first episode with Chris O'Donnell and the girl from Parks and Rec. Can't remember her name. But what you've just said there just scared the hell out of me, because that's exactly what happened. I won't ruin anything more, but you'll know why. You saying you've got dibs probably put a shiver in everyone's spine who's watched deep Black Mirror. So yeah, and anyone who I put, but don't put spoilers, but let me know in the comments if you've watched and know exactly what I mean by that one. But yeah, you've just scared a big you've got dibs, have you? This is also a fantastic prompt from ChatGPT. Now that you can remember everything I've ever typed here, point out my top 5 blind spots. Ooh, excellent.
Look, I've got a wife. I don't need anyone pointing out any more flaws in my personality and skill set.
If
I
only
need ChatGPT to be reassuring.
If only there was a top 5. Emily's I like the fresh start. I don't need AI judging me based on my teenage Facebook post. Yeah, I can see that. And I think you're right. I think that's
do any of us need that?
Yeah. I might get cancelled. Enough on that. Oh, that Black Mirror was really exactly. And him saying he's got dibs has just put a shiver down my spine. The plus subscription £20, that makes sense. So we're in the same boat, Steph. We just have to wait. Us standard users who were once premium users, and now that's back to
Paul literally watched that episode last night.
You what, sorry?
Paul literally watched Black Mirror last night.
Yeah, and has it made you think there, Paul? Has it not made you think about you were standard? No, premium was it, and then you're standard, and but we'll talk about that when everyone's up to date. My positive AI thing, and I've got a bit of a talk about it first, is quickly on Canva Create. So one of the solutions either you're using or someone who uses has to be Canva. Canva's been like, they showed the kind of uptake on Canva, and it's absolutely mind-boggling. And they do a Canva Create, like a Engage Labs, like an Apple WDC or whatever it's going to be. They have their own and they call it Canva Create. And one thing I need to say about this is where a lot of people should be thinking about how to do theirs going forward. They call things wishes. So there's a wish, you guys as a community wished on X, Y, this, and they even put a video on, I wish it could do this. I wish it could do that. And then they're like,
oh, sounds magical.
Yeah. And then it comes through. So like they call it, they grant wishes. Brilliant. Also, very, very cheesy, very corny, but please watch the last 3 minutes of it. They basically turn the final bit, the final wishes there, like jumping into all of the things they've done into a musical. And it was absolutely brilliant. But they also released Canva Sheets, so it got me quite interested on this. So think Excel, Google Sheets, numbers, but Canva's now built their own. But the thing they've been able to do is they've looked at all the others and said, hold my beer, I can do it better. If they can, whatever. But what I think you'll find so much more impressive about this is they made it for non-Excel users and stuff like this. So people like Lizzie, who hates me saying, oh, can you just jump into Excel and just put up a thing through there? She now doesn't need to. She'll do it all in there. And the beauty of doing it from there is think about what content you can create with it building on an Excel-esque element. So things like top trump cards going forward will be so much easier to create, because literally I update the back end and the top trump will be created automatically for me, that sort of thing going forward. So absolutely loving that. So you create content on scale. Deloitte was showing off how their new kind of AI generated packs means that they could make absolutely stellar content for the thing. So you could bring that data in, it could AI analyze it for you, very much like Swift and all that lot, but then give it a platform that you could then edit it to itself. You can bring things around, move things around, and all that sort of stuff. I thought was awesome. And finally, the bit that I really loved about it was they provided an opportunity for you to create code in Canva directly, so you could code things. And I use this as an opportunity to go, right, let's see if we can build a better working papers for our practice. What could happen? So you literally type in the prompt of, I would like it to have this working papers, base it on this functionality here, and I kind of gave a competitive how I want it to look, and also I want the opportunity to make it collaborative, and I want to be able to upload and blah blah blah. Press go, and it wrote, I think it was like 1,500 lines of code for me, like that, and then you get to just have that as a playable thing in there. But because it's Canva, you can then change the fonts and put the colors in and make the UI look amazing and do all that sort of stuff and put some things in order to use it. I built it and ready to deploy it already. And it was like this tiny little update they brought in. They called it Canva code or something. But honestly, have a play around with it. It is so clever. If anything, it's proof of concept, right? Like, this is what I now want it to be. I don't know, like, if you could then transfer that code somewhere else. I have no idea about that sort of stuff. But here's a working prototype. Here's the code that was generated to do it. Yeah. Pass it to a developer. They would do wonders with that, right? Like, that is you going, like, here's the idea I've got in my head that I'm really struggling to kind of like get out there and show people. And is it possible? Is it not possible? What, all those sort of things. Already built, it's already there, and it gives you an opportunity. And if you ever just want it for internal use, I'm sure you could use it as Canva and just do it from there. And going forward, I could create now a working paper. Well, it's already built. It's working paper solution. You download all your data from QuickBooks using that little export data button. So it's that whole year's there with all the bits and all that. You dump that into there, then generates it. You do your working paper from there. You can attach whatever you want to. You can put there, you can put reports in, you can put all the supporting documents, all that sort of stuff, functionality you like. It's done already. And that was literally, 3 hours worth of work from conception to finalized to done.
What's watching the F1?
Well, yeah. In fact, it was that first bit of the F1. It just overlapped on there. The kind of the what do you call it bit. So yeah, that was it. That was building it from there. So highly recommend someone just having a play, like just have a little go at it and see what it's like. It's just thought provoking in terms of what you can do with it. And now my brain's in like overdrive. Oh, could I then make this do this? And most of it's just data collection, right? Or improving that experience with your client. When you send them something, like my brain's in overdrive at the moment. Well, when I'm sending my accounts to them, could I make it that little bit more interactive with them? Can I put this sort of stuff in here without having to spend ages doing it, that sort of stuff? So yeah. Really clever.
I built a chatbot the other day, like major flaws in it. Like, for someone to use a chatbot that I built in ChatGPT, they've got to have an account. And actually, because my chatbot was so long, a free account wouldn't handle it. You have to pay for 20. So there's so many barriers to entry already. But as a concept, I built an onboarding chatbot. So the theory being that your client gets a link in an email from Engager saying, right, we're ready to onboard you. Click here. That would then take them through an onboarding chatbot. It's like, right, can we get your first name, your surname, and your middle name if you've got one, blah, blah, blah. Right, I need your company UTR number. Where do I find that? And it could answer it. And it's like, oh my God, this could be incredible.
Exactly.
But it's so early days for it right now that it's not accessible to everybody. And that's a major, major issue.
Yeah.
You then need to take that bot and put it into like a live chat tool. It needs to be able to export the data or, fire that data into and there's so much work to be done on it. But as a concept, it really excited me about where the future is.
Yeah.
Like, how many clients call you say, "Oh, I've sent you everything. I don't know I don't know where to find a UTR number."
Yeah. Or what is a UTR number?
Yeah, literally. So the question it asked me was, can you provide your company UTR number? Because I told it that's what I wanted it to ask me. And so I went back saying, what is my UTR number? Okay, this is what your UTR number is, and this is normally where you found it. And it gave me like 3 different things. Like, have a look if you've had a letter from HMRC about your UTR number after registering your company, because they get sent out automatically. If you've got your government gateway account, you might be able to find it in there. Go here, and here's the link to do that. And it's like, I hadn't told it to do any of that. I just said, ask these questions and support the client in finding the answers if they're not sure. It did the rest. And it's like, Christ, this could be powerful in the future. This is exciting.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think that's where, like, I'll always remember them showing off at the Sage stand that their concept of a tax return was all AI driven using Sage Copilot, right? So it was a case of, we're still missing this information, and the AI could go and collect it, telling the client exactly what it is, where they can find it, blah, 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 but then also just putting it in there and then linking all the supporting documents to it at the same time.
Could you imagine, like, instead of sending out a tax questionnaire to your client, you send out the chatbot link. They fill it all out. It's like, and they can ask it questions and stuff to save them. Oh, is this relevant to me? Well, have you done this? And do you do that? And have you done this?
Find out for you.
Yeah. And then it all comes back in. And imagine that all that information went straight into your tax filing software for you.
Like, all the links, all the context of why it's found it, all that. And then it's your job to go through, review it. Oh, yeah,
I'll apply marriage relief here because of whatever, and all that stuff. Like, the future.
That's the bit where we're excited for, isn't it? That's the bit we're excited for. And the final bit on Canva Create, just because I thought was brilliant, and I think this is something a lot of people could bring. And they did it last year as well. So last year, the Canva Create finished, and it says, look, go into your Canva now, like at the end of the conference, and knock on the top panel at the top. You just knock on it, and he had to do like 5 clicks, 5 knocks. And then it activated the brand new Canva, and then you were in there. And there was only a set amount that could go into this beta, right? Really clever. This one, we're all expecting set there going tick, 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 tick. Oh, no. This time it was, you had to click on the individual bits in there and turn them all. So you had to do a different unlock mechanism. But then you were one of the first, I don't know, 1,000, 10,000, whatever the number was, and you were then able to use it. So I was like, there, ready and waiting. What's the unlock code? How do I get in? And then I was in and off to the races. So yeah, it was very, very good, very clever. Like, I think
user buy-in right there.
Yeah, we're suckers, aren't we, for a good good conference. But they have to be a good conference, and we're ultra now. We've become ultra critical when it's not a good conference, right? Or when they're kind of not. They're not giving us that time investment back, are they? They're not giving us value for that time investment. And yeah, these guys are. It's a product I don't use I use once a week, but Lizzie uses every single day, sort of thing. Like, she lives in it. But I use like once a week, sort of thing, for a few things here and there, or a couple of times a week, sort of thing. But even I was sat there going, wow, ow. And most of the things they were saying of these updates, hadn't got a clue of what they were on about, but I saw the reaction of how impressed people were by them. You're like, oh, fair play to them, fair play. So yeah, I think that's definitely something to watch for everyone to go, look, this is a way to get engagement. This is a way, like that unlock mechanism now. Genius, because now I have to watch that thing every single year when it's released, so I know how to unlock my Canva to be on the latest and greatest. I don't even use it all that often, but now I'm invested, and I am they've got me on that one. So very, very clever indeed. And that's it. That is 9:29. That's the end of today. We did have one shout out of the week, but it was us attacking Zero, so maybe that's not the time to do it. It's now, is it? But yeah, just for context, if someone put out there that,
speaking of AI negativity,
if you're going to break up with me, don't do it by email. But that's one for another day. If we get around to it, we got a lot of one for another day topics at the top of our cheat sheet at the moment, of which we keep struggling to bring into it. But that's that just shows that we've got a lot to talk about in our industry at the moment. So, Johann, anything exciting this week coming up? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think. No, I mean,
well, it's a short week, right? Because it's Easter
short
weekend.
week because it's Easter weekend and stuff. Are we here next week on Bank Holiday Monday? I mean, we
Believe so.
normally are.
Yeah, I believe so.
So if you want to sit and eat chocolate while listening to us, we'll be here live eating chocolate. But yeah, like no, I've just got like I need to do some more research into Zapier. Yeah, there's just lots going on, and I want to do a bit more research and planning into that idea you and I discussed before we started this episode. So
Loving that
if
idea.
you're excited, want to see what we're going to get up to next and what we're going to spin off for the Ask the Accountant Network next, watch this space. I'm excited by that one. I'm really excited by that.
I am as well. And speaking of Ask the Accountant Network, we have the DAS
we do
grid walk about to go live. So very exciting one. Very exciting one. We've changed the format a little bit. More in-depth interviews sprinkled in there a little bit there. So we need the
different
feedback.
camera angles because we've got 360 view.
Yeah, which we need to figure out exactly how that works going forward. But that's on us, right?
But I wasn't convinced enough to buy one, put it that way. When I went on my shopping spree over the weekend at Insta360 for my new action cam ready for my holiday in June, I didn't buy a 360 camera.
But do give us feedback because we generally would love to hear the feedback on that one. That's our hero content, we call it. That's like our we really need to give back to what people want out of that one. And it's a much longer, it's 45 minutes, so it's a big chunky piece of content. So yeah, I'd love to get the feedback. Have we gone too far? Have we covered enough? Blah blah blah. Should we be doing this? And we tried talking to different people as well. We took the feedback on and went from there. So yeah, do give us some feedback. That would be amazing. And hope everyone has an amazing week. And we will see you at the same time, same place here for Ask the Accountant number 129 next. We're getting scarily close to the 150 mark, aren't we, at this point?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we are heading that way.
Fantastic. So it is a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
Cheers, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next week.